Good morning. Good morning, you beautiful people, beautiful human beings. Well, just wanted to take some time out here since I'm outside to acknowledge how beautiful God's creation is and just show you guys right now what the King has done. So, I'm not here to make a video to show you guys something, to show you by explaining it, show you a point, share a point with you. But I wanted to come outside because it's just so beautiful to be out here. But it's a much different backdrop than my room currently, so much better lighting and everything. But I just wanted to speak to you guys today regarding the Sabbath and Sunday. And some people think the Sabbath day is Saturday. Some people think the Sabbath day is Sunday. I think the Sabbath day is Sunday, but I haven't gone into a bunch of research about it. Anyway, the point of what I want to talk about today stems from God's commandments. And that's a pretty big deal, right? God's commandments. I mean, He commanded us. You know, it's like think about when you go to the ice cream store, right? Or you go to Rita's or something, or Starbucks or anywhere, and you're at the place to order your food, right? You're asking them for what you want, right? And then they can say, well, we don't have that right now, or they can say, or they can say, yeah, of course, here you go, yeah, no problem, okay, anything else? Well, think about that. Like, we go to these places, we order our food, and it's pretty simple, right? And these are the two main things I want to keep in focus here. So, the two things I want to keep in focus are that we have free will. We can always decide what to do with our time, with our thoughts, with our choices. And liner note, the devil always tries to convince you that you don't have free will. The name of his game is, you don't have a choice. You have to do this. You don't have a choice. That's not the truth. We always have choice, right? We always have free will. Even if it's just deciding how we feel, or what we think about something, or what to look at, or what to think about. But anyway, we always have free will, right? But the second thing I want to like zero in on is God's commandment, right? So well, God gave us free will, so that means we can do whatever we want. Yep, that's exactly right. But what about God's commandment? Well, He's commanding us to do something, so we don't really have free will if He's commanding us to do it. It's a command. He's not just asking us to do it. He's commanding us to do it, right? Right. But we still have free will. We don't have to listen to His commandments. It's a pretty big deal. But here's the thing. Why do you think they're commandments? Why do you think He's commanding you to do something? Why do you think God, the God who designed you, created you, is commanding you something? Well, I can tell you it's definitely for your own benefit. Okay? Because, if He loves you so much, which He does, He loves us all so much, He would never ask us to do something that was bad for us, right? We wouldn't ask that of our loved ones. We wouldn't do that. We never trick somebody into doing something that's bad for them because we love them. We ask them to do good because we love them. And so He has these commandments, and they're super important. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to underscore that and set that out there. But here's the deal. Here's what I want to talk about. The deal is, God has commanded us to not work, to not only, it's a noisy truck over there. God has commanded us to not only not work on the Sabbath, but He's commanded us to keep it holy. Just a second. So, it's a two-part deal. His command for the Sabbath, aka Sunday, or Saturday, if you want to consider the Saturday the Sabbath, is not only to not work, but to honor it and keep it holy, right? The key is rest. And, God created everything in 6 days. And what did he do on the seventh day? He rested. It's essential. The point of it, there's so much wisdom and love in his commandments. And especially about the Sabbath, because it makes sense. I'm going to move out of the sun a little bit. And so, in contrast to today's world, where you're told, work. You better get to work. I gotta pay my bills. I gotta make my rent. I gotta do this. Work. The world does not work with God. It doesn't. The world works with its own works. It does its own thing, right? So when God says don't work on Sunday, what does your manager say? Your manager says, okay, well, you're on the schedule, so so we face that battle. We face that battle in life, where we know what's right, and then our circumstances, our situations, try to tell us and force us to do otherwise, right? Well, here's the thing. God doesn't just ask you not to work. He's not just asking you, he's commanding you. God doesn't just command you not to work on Sunday because he feels like it. He commands you not to work on Sunday because he has a design. Because he knows what's best for you. He knows what's best for you. And that's a pretty big deal. Because even when we think that we know that what's best for us, like when we're like, okay, well, I have to work on Sunday because I'm short my rent money, or I'm short, I need to make money. I have to work on Sunday. This is what we say. We say, I have to work on Sunday. I don't have a choice. Well, who does that sound like? And when it comes to not working on Sunday, when it comes to following God's command, here's the thing. What does he say about his ways? He says, my ways are higher than your ways, right? So, all we have to do is remember that no matter what we do, no matter what the world throws at us, no matter what happens, literally, no matter what happens, when we follow God's commandments, we will be rewarded. We will be blessed. We will be taken care of. Sure, a whole bunch of bombs might go off all around us, right? But, I mean, look at Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They were literally thrown into a furnace, right? They were literally thrown into a furnace. This is while they were children of God. This is while they were obeying God's command. They were still thrown in a furnace. And not just like a normal house furnace that some people might still have in their house. A furnace that's just open flame, like, charbroil furnace. Open flame, open fire furnace. So it's not to say that when you follow God's commandments, you won't go through trials and tests and difficulties, right? Because this isn't Candyland. This isn't like a walk down the park, through the stream, and life is great every day, always, no problems. That's not the way that life is. That's not the way that it works. If you want to walk with God. And I'm not saying that if you want to walk with God, it has to be hard. I'm saying that when we walk with God, there's going to be challenges, there's going to be trials, there's going to be really hard things that we face. And and we just need to get through them. Yeah, we really do. We really do just need to get through them. And maybe you're in one right now. Maybe you've been stuck in one. Maybe you feel like you're just stuck, like a truck stuck in the mud somewhere, and your tires have spun. You got no friends. You got no friends to come push you out. You got no chain to pull yourself out, whatever. But this is what I want you to remember in that situation. You do. You do have friends that will help. You do have a chain that will pull you out. You have God. You have faith, right? hold out a little bit longer. You know what I mean? Stay in there, keep fighting the good fight. You're almost there. There's a reason why you're there. Sometimes we get stuck so that whatever we're holding on to, or whatever's holding on to us that we don't need anymore, gets pulled and ripped right off of us, right? Sometimes God is like putting us through the detail shop, right? He's put us in the shop, and he's working on us. And the mechanic says, well, it's gonna be, you go to get your car, you say, why isn't my car ready? The mechanic says, well, you know, this happened and this happened, and Larry didn't show up to work today, and you know, I keep trying to tell him to work on Sunday, but he won't work on Sunday for some reason. And this reason or that reason or that reason, and you thought you were going to have your car by Monday. Now you're not going to have your car till you don't know when. And that's a big deal, because everybody gets frustrated with that usually. But what's God doing? He's taking care of you. He's making sure that everything in your life lines right up just perfectly. He's making sure that puzzle piece, everybody's life is like a puzzle piece, right? Everybody's life is like a puzzle piece. God has a place for it. There's a time for it, a place for it, and it doesn't just stand on its own, right? None of us, I mean, think about that. When you find a random puzzle piece somewhere, and you're like, I don't know what puzzle this went to. I don't know where this came from, okay? If you think about it long enough, you think, well, hey, this puzzle piece belongs to a puzzle. There's all these other puzzle pieces somewhere in the world where this piece fits perfectly. That is how our lives are, okay? God designed us perfectly. He designs our lives perfectly. So when we're like, no, me first. No, I want to do this. I got to get this done, and I need to do this, and I need to take care of this, and I've got to go, because if I don't do this, then this, and this. If you start going that direction, it's just not going to work out very well. And the blessing of that, one of the blessings in that is God is not going to let you. Sometimes he will. He'll let you just steamroll your way into trouble, right? To figure out that that's not a good idea. Or steamroll your way into rest, like he might be trying to calm you down and get us to just rest and relax. And we just won't listen, so he makes us do it, right? Because he loves us, he wants the best for us. But sometimes he is tweaking the situations in our lives, where it's like it's a delay, or it's a change, or it's a question mark, or I thought this was going to be this, and then all of a sudden it's completely something different. And that something different is good, because whether or not we understand how it's good or see how it's good, God has a plan for how it is good, right? And what I'm trying to say is, when we go to put a puzzle together, and we have this one piece in our hand, we're trying to find out where to put it. Where does it go? Where does this puzzle piece go? And you look at this puzzle piece, and you might even know what's on it, right? We might know what our lives look like, but we might not know where it goes in the grand scheme of things. But that's why we need to yield to God's ways, because he knows so much more about things than we do. He knows everything more about things that we don't. He knows the unknown, right? He knows the mysteries. He has every answer to every mystery ever. He has every answer to every question ever. It's pretty amazing. So when you think about that, why not just put your trust in him? Why not give way? Let your insecurities just fall through the floor. Let them fall on the ground and stand on them, walk on them, and let God do the work, right? So we have this puzzle piece in our hand called our life, and we're trying to take care of it. We're trying to put it where it's supposed to go. But God knows where it goes, right? He designed the puzzle. And sometimes we have to look at the other puzzle pieces in there, and we're trying to say, what does this fit with? What does this fit with? This fits here and this fits there. God does not want us to sit there and put this whole puzzle together. Think about it. If one puzzle piece is your life, why would he want you to sit there and put a whole puzzle together, right? There is so much more to life than putting the whole puzzle together. Too many of us try to figure out how to do things, how to fix things, how to solve everything. And I do it all the time. I constantly am doing it. And one of the things that we have to let God help us mitigate is how we want to help other people, how we want to help ourselves. You know, if we're all doing something good, then we're all trying to make something good happen, right? Well, God doesn't want us to do it all, right? He wants us to trust Him. Because if we trust Him, then He shows us how to do things. He makes things easier for us. That's why, to bring it back to base, that's why He doesn't want us working Sundays, okay? It's pretty simple. The world says you have to work Sundays. I don't care what your God says. Well, that should put things into perspective for you. Because when God asks us to do things, when He commands us to do things, He does it with a perfect design. He's not just coming up with He's not coming up with random jokes, random rules. He has a plan and a design. So, I want to challenge you right now to make a huge change in your life. And it's a huge change, but it's a simple choice to trust God. So if you're working on Sunday and you think you have to, think you don't have a choice, I am here to tell you otherwise. I'm here to tell you no. Sorry, but you're wrong. You do have a choice. There's a huge lawnmower tractor coming up the road, moving slow, getting louder. You do have a choice, right? You do have a choice. Don't work Sunday, okay? Trust God. Make the choice. Trust God. Take a chance. What happens when you take a leap of faith and you jump towards God's arms? What happens when you do that? He catches you, right? Does He let you fall to hell? No. He catches you. When you're in life and you're making the choice and you're making the moves yourself, it's a lot scarier, right? Easier said than done. But still, even though it's easier to say it than to do it, I still challenge you to do it. Make the choice, make the change now. And change. Give it up to God. Whatever you give up and give to God, He takes and He honors it, right? He has promised us to take care of us. He's promised to be with us. If we obey His commands, He keeps His promises, right? It's a covenant. It's a two-way street. It's a two-way street. He promises us this, and if we obey, then good things happen. So I challenge you today to make the decision now. Today is Wednesday. We're halfway through the week, okay? By the way, regardless of what your week looks like, spend your time with God, and it's going to be a much better time. I promise you. That's the thing about God. When you spend